naked black female social worker had her apartment raided unlawfully. She was handcuffed illegally. And when they realized they had the wrong apartment, the wrong person, the wrong everything, they still would not uncuff this social worker. Let's put up a picture. Okay. We're talking about Chicago. Chicago City Council, they are now set to vote on a $2.9 million settlement for Miss Anjanette Young, a black woman who sued the city and several police officers over a botched 2019 raid at her apartment. Young, a social worker, was handcuffed while naked. She sobbed. She told officers that they were at the wrong home, but she remained in handcuffs, according to the report from the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. Now, let me remind you of some things here, okay? First of all, they realized within 60 seconds they were at the wrong apartment and the person they arrested was not the target. Instead of immediately reconciling their blunder and being decent individuals, the culture of corruption continued to permeate, where they decided to leave her in handcuffs for roughly 20 damn minutes. She was crying uncontrollably. She was going through an emotional damn breakdown. This is a woman who has dedicated her life to enhance the lives of others. That's what social workers do. She was in the middle of a tragedy created by the city police. Here's what happened. The city's council, the council's finance office, they decided to unanimously approve the settlement on Monday. The Chicago Tribune reported it will move to the full council for a vote today. She's going to get the money. That's not enough money, by the way. She gets 2.9 million. She'll get a lot more. Let me tell you why she should get a lot more. You have to look at what has happened to this woman now. Yes, the trauma, the psychological damage, the therapy that she's had to undergo, the therapy she will have to continue to deal with, and the fact that there is now a video out there of her naked in her own damn apartment. Yes, this will be out there forever. Wherever she goes, whatever job she has, whatever person she's helping as a social worker, this video will be there, period. 2.9 million doesn't sound like enough to me. The mayor, she said she's comfortable. I'm sure she is. She probably is breathing a sigh of relief that it was only 2.9 million. It gets deeper. Young's first floor apartment was raided back in 2019 after Officer Elaine Aparangao obtained a search warrant using information from an anonymous source. The source told the officer that an acquaintance had brandished an illegal weapon at a home, the report said. Now, we found out later that the officer actually had the real or the right information documented. The address, the apartment complex, it was in writing. The cop decided to listen to the anonymous source, the snitch, whatever you want to call him, violate all protocol and raided this poor woman's home. That's what happened. The target of the search warrant, who had been arrested previously, had a home address listed at an apartment building across the street as slightly south of Miss Young, according to the report. It said the officer had information listing the target's address, but, and I quote, disregarded all of this information and instead relied exclusively on J. Doe's statements. Neither Young nor her home were connected to the target or any other criminal activity, the Police Accountability Office said, all right? The report also said these officers violated applicable laws and policies, not just policies. The report said they also violated the law. and recommended various actions of discipline. Now, here's what has not happened. The council, they investigate, right? Was supposed to be happy with the fact that they state the obvious. They said laws were broken. Why in the hell has no one been arrested? Yeah, I get it. Policy definitely broken. Nobody gets arrested over violating office policies typically, but you said laws were broken. Where's the arrest? Where's the real arrest? Because I only saw one group of criminals inside of Miss Young's apartment. The damn sure wasn't Miss Young. All right, so the police superintendent, David Brown, later called for Sergeant Alex Walensky to be fired. Why? Because the documents released by the city saying that Walensky approved the warrant without adhering to the department's knock and announce rule, failed to intervene in the disrespectful treatment of Young, and did not promptly present Young with a copy of the search warrant. All right. She was left in a complete state of undress for 16 seconds after the officers entered, and then it took a full 10 minutes until she was allowed to be fully dressed. So we're gonna see exactly what happens with the policies. Right now, the mayor, the police chief, they're holding press conferences saying things like, this will never happen again. And it should have never happened in the first place. These are policies. Great. Your policies already say it's not supposed to happen. You understand? The policy says this is wrong. You don't do it this way. But your culture says something different. You see, we keep talking about reform and we should be talking about replacement. You got bad cops. You got bad cops, you need to get rid of them. Okay? I don't give a damn what your policy say. Your policy already says the right thing. All right, Mr. Bain, what are your thoughts on this?
Accountability, brother, accountability. I think you said it best when you said there is a culture of corruption and we can't continue to ignore, condone, or excuse that type of behavior. I'm gonna tell you why it happened. Dr. James Marion Sims is why this happened. Dr. James Marion Sims, the quote unquote father of gynecology, there is no respect for black women and their bodies. I'm gonna say it again. There is no respect for black women and their bodies in this society. And this is just an example of that treatment, that behavior. She is rather a social worker, but that shouldn't matter. The fact that she cares and shows compassion and looks after people in need shouldn't be a factor here. What is a factor and what should be a factor is the psychological evaluation that goes into someone becoming a police officer. Because there's definitely something deeply psychologically wrong with someone who takes an oath to serve, protect, to be courteous and respectful in a community and behaves this way.
That's right. Well said, very well said.